The company that made the phone in your pocket will tell you two completely different things. They're completely opposite from each other. And they'll tell you both in the same year. In the spring, they'll brag that your phone is built to last 7 years of updates, 6, 7, 8 years of software. It's in the print and it's on stage. They're proud of it. And then in the fall, that same company will spend millions of dollars trying to convince you that the phone they just promised would last 7 years is basically crap and not worth your time. Both things, same phone, same company, same year. So which is it? Is it good for 6, 7, 8 years, or is it garbage in one? Because it can't be both. And here's the thing, you already know the answer. Deep down, you know your phone is fine and has been. The problem is every single fall, there's a new shiny event, a new number, and a new feature, and that little voice that creeps in your head that says, maybe mine's getting a little old. By the way, that voice isn't yours. That voice was put into your head by these companies. And the marketing is doing exactly what it was meant to do, make you feel like you're on a phone that doesn't work perfectly. And you know it does. And Apple just ran this play just the other day, just did this. Let me show you. They just sold the iPhone 17 last year as their new AI phone. AI ready, the future, all of it. And months later, the newest Siri features that are in iOS 27, your base 17 can't even get all of them because it has 8 gigs of RAM. And the new stuff needs at least 12. And this is the same thing with the iPhone 16. It was supposed to be AI ready too. It's supposed to be like the perfect AI phone. Then they quietly moved the line so the phone that they sold you already falls short. And while I understand that some of you don't care about AI, the reality is they came up with this new cool thing and they're now making the ability to take these phones from 8 or 7 or 9, sometimes 8 or 9 years of usefulness and make them feel bad in less than 2. Buckle up. This is some crazy crap and we're going to go into it. You're not going to feel a whole lot better about it by the time I'm done, but I'm going to give you some actionable things to keep in mind. And if you're new here, I'm Travis and I'm out here to help you save some money because this is some ridiculous stuff. They're spending billions to get money out of your pocket, and for free, I'm trying to help you keep it in yours. Now, look, I'm not like on my high horse trying to preach to all of y'all or something because I recently upgraded. I went from the iPhone 14 Pro Max to a 17 Pro Max. That's 3 years, $1,200. The whole ritual of the box, I peeled it off. I set up the screen. It was great. It was fun. But you know what the honest truth is? The truth that I'm not supposed to tell you, because I guess if I make you want the newest thing, then I can do affiliate links in the description, of which there are some, but not for this video. The only difference I can tell really between them is the battery. That's it. Now, in fairness, I've always talked about how the battery is one of the best things to upgrade for, but that's pretty much it. That's the only thing I can tell. That's kind of the list. It's not the camera. I've taken the same photo with both, and I don't know what the hell the difference is. Not the screen. They look the same to me. And not the chip that I'm never going to push to the nth degree to make it seem any better. 3 years, $1,200. And the one thing in my hand that I can tell that actually makes the difference is that it lasts a little longer before I have to plug it in. So if I did it and I barely noticed, let me save you a whole bunch of money and frustration and let you know what's really going on. Now let's rewind for a second, because once upon a time, when you upgraded your phone, it was genuinely exciting. And I want to be specific about why. Think about the iPhone 4 back in 2010. You went from this plastic thing to this glass and steel slab, and the screen, the retina display, was so sharp, your eyes couldn't even take the pixels. It was craziness. We were like, holy crap, that was new. And in the same era, the 4S drops, and suddenly your phone can talk to you. Siri came. And we didn't really have anything like that before, especially not on iPhones. And that was the brand new Siri. A couple of years later, the 5S gave you the fingerprint reader, the fingerprint sensor, and the whole 64-bit chip. It seemed like every year things were just getting better and more awesome. And you could hold last year's phone next to the current year and go, oh, that's actually different. I can actually feel the difference. Now let's fast forward to today. If you have an iPhone 16, well, 15 even, or 17, be honest. If you look at them, can you tell the difference? You know, a button moved, a camera that has slightly better software processing on a photo you're probably going to post at a fifth of the resolution anyway on Instagram, and a chip that's faster in a way that you're never going to be able to experience. That's not a knock on the actual hardware. The phones are incredible. They're like supercomputers at this point. But that's kind of the whole point. They've gotten so good that they've ran out of really obvious things to fix. The leaps have turned into like these little tiny fixes here and these little nudges here and there. And I got to be honest, these little nudges that they're giving you aren't worth the money that you're having to pay when you upgrade. Certainly not every year or in every 2 years. Somebody put it perfectly. Modern phones are like modern cars. They're better, of course, but the gains come in percentages now, not in breakthroughs. No one's reinventing the wheel. They're adjusting everything around it and then charging you for this quote new experience that doesn't actually feel like a new experience. And look, it's not just me. We have a whole Reddit thing here of people saying a lot of the same thing. Look at this. Phones become less interesting like home computers have. I used to be excited about the specs of computers back in the day, and I thought they were so exciting. Then they weren't, and they still aren't. Well, computers somewhat different, especially in the gaming space, but to the same point, he's not completely wrong. I think the problem is most consumer electronics have already solved their biggest problems. That's so true. Back in the 2000s, early 2010s, every generation felt like a huge leap. Faster CPU. This is what I'm saying. I didn't even have to say this. Someone else said it on the internet. Today, a 3 to 4 year old flagship still feels fast, takes great photos, streams video, and runs apps smoothly and lasts all day. So very true. I love how this isn't just some tech YouTuber trying to tell you something. These are people posting this stuff all the time. They say that they feel that the changes feel incremental. But 15, 20 years ago, you could actually tell the difference. Everything felt so much more significant. And I just don't think there are a lot of things left to do. Obviously, folding phones are kind of the next cool thing. And then after that, then what? I don't know. You can even see people talking about like their iPhone 11s that they think work great. You just scroll down and you'll see people are happy with their hardware. Look at this one. When my phone breaks, I replace it. I think the longest was 6 years. I don't understand why people upgrade every year. I guess it makes sense if the phone is your main piece of entertainment, but I've got a gaming PC for that. And that's the thing. This is exactly how, and look at this. Honestly, I think you're closer to how most people actually use technology. For the average user, modern phones are already good enough, and they have been for a very, very, very long time. So it isn't that the hardware isn't any good, and that's why you feel like you need to upgrade. Multi-millions of dollars have been spent to make you feel that way. And I'm telling you, it wasn't you that came up with that. It was from the marketing department. Now, I'm not going to say nothing ever improves because obviously some things improve. And like I said, going from the 14 to 17, the one thing I noticed was the battery. But check this out. The battery is the last real frontier. Cameras are basically done. Screens are basically done. But the battery, everyone deals with battery. Everyone's hunting for the charger at like 4, depending on what you do or which phone you have. So that's the one place where companies can actually still make a difference. It's the one upgrade you can genuinely feel in your day. And check this out. This is the whole reason for this. CNET actually tested 35 phones from the 2024 and 2025 models. And you know how much better the batteries got year over year? 0.87%. You see this right here? 0.87%. This is like a rounding error. So from year to year, you're not going to feel the difference. I felt the difference because I went from a 14 to a 17, 14 Pro Max to 17 Pro Max. Plus, you got to remember the degradation on the 14 Pro Max. So my experience was much larger. The phone is the last real big upgrade, but it doesn't show up year over year. It shows up over years. 1 year is nothing. If you stack 3 or 4 years, those tiny gains actually become really good and you can feel it. And like I said, that's what happened to me. If I'd gone from the 16 to 17, I wouldn't have noticed a damn thing. And I would have spent the same amount of money to notice nothing. And that's the case for waiting right there. Waiting isn't settling. Waiting is you letting for that one improvement that's actually going to pile up into something that's worth paying for. And by the way, if your only problem is battery, then you probably don't need a new phone. You can go get a new battery. If it's an iPhone, you can go to an Apple store and then like for under $100, they'll fix it. Samsung kind of same thing. There's those little kiosks in mall. Just go to the mall. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? So if the hardware barely moves and the reviewers are literally telling you to keep your old phone, the companies have a real business problem. Because for about 15 years, they had one honest, rock solid reason for you to upgrade. Your phone stopped getting updates and it stopped being safe. So fair enough. That was the real reason. But then they killed that reason themselves. Apple's giving you like 6, 7, 8 years of updates now. Samsung and Google, they're standing on stage talking about 7 years. I mean, I made a whole video about what that word support means. So you should go watch that video because it doesn't mean what you think it means. So again, the last honest reason to upgrade is gone and they need a new one. And you already know what it is because it screamed at you all this year. AI. Your phone can't run the new AI. Your phone is old. Like, first of all, most people don't care about that. It's not really good enough, but okay. They sold the base iPhone 17 as AI ready in 2025, and months later, iOS 27, the new Siri features won't even fully run on it. So they're already taking it from 7, 8 years down to less than one. That's crazy work. And it's something they're trying to do to us. They're going to say that the software needs the 12 gigs of RAM, and that might be true, but they made that hardware, they were putting that hardware together way before this. They knew that. They now know that they've sold a phone within the last year that they can say to other people, hey, it's time to upgrade. AI is the reason. Probably not a reason most of you care about. I know it doesn't really matter to me, but man, they really are running out of ideas. Did you ever like one time walk into a store and say, you know what I need? An assistant to summarize my text? No, no one ever on the earth of everything has ever said that. They invented that and then told you your phone can't even do it. I'm saying, what's going on? And by the way, I know someone's going to say, okay, you're saying never upgrade. Technology equals bad. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I want to be really clear about this because I'm not one of those guys that tells you everything's a scam. Upgrades aren't really the enemy. It's the bad timing. There's a right time to buy a new phone and a wrong time. And these companies have blurred that line on purpose so that you don't even know. And sometimes it's just one really cool feature away from you going to a store and buying a phone you don't need. I have a lot of smart people in my comments, and I've seen a lot of you out there leaving comments talking about that you don't upgrade and sometimes hold on to phones for a long time. And that's great. Hats off to you. But there is maybe one or two reasons why you should upgrade. But let's just go over the ones that you don't really need to for, because here are the rules. Don't upgrade on a timer. Don't do it. Not a timer's been like, oh, it's been 2 years. I guess it's time. Don't do that. That's them driving you to make that decision. That's nothing that you want. A trigger is something that actually happened and you can't handle anymore. So let's go through these and I'll tell you exactly when you should and when you should not. So again, it's been a while, not a good reason. A better camera. Typically it's software processing and you won't see much of a difference. AI features. That's just a manufactured excuse. You know what I mean? Like you're going to get most of the AI features. They're just some of the better ones aren't going. Who cares? Don't do it for it feels old. That feeling was told to you. You can go get a new case, get a new screen protector, clean it up, refresh it, reinstall everything, and it's going to work just as good as it ever could. But you might want to upgrade on one of these reasons. If your phone runs out of software support for real, like that's an actual big one, and that's the one that probably matters the most. When your phone stops getting security updates, it stops being safe to put your bank, your email, and your whole life on. That's a legitimate, real reason to upgrade. But of course, here's the catch. That date might be 6, 7, 8 years from now, or at least from when you bought it. So the reason is absolutely real. It's just way further away than you might think. Check your phone support page and make sure that the actual last update year is the one that's like either you're in or coming and not just something that they promised. Because I did talk about that in a previous video. Make sure you go check that out. If your battery is genuinely like dead and you've replaced it once, the $60, $70, $80 replacement, and it's still not enough, you probably can go get an upgrade. By that point, you're probably 5 years out, right? If something physically breaks on the phone instead of like, something that can't be fixed easily and cheaped, and it costs as much as a new phone, you might as well just get a new phone. Some people, I think someone said on Reddit, like, I'll keep it until it breaks. And that's fine. That's great. But when it does, it's probably worth getting a new phone. And at that point, you may have jumped 3 or 4 or 5 generations. And that's really the sweet spot. That's when you're going to be able to tell the difference. The battery gains are going to seem great. Things might feel a little smoother, especially depending on what the operating systems start to install onto your phones. And it's not just about like a spec bump year to year. You're actually going to feel the difference. Plus, hopefully, they'll have some type of great trade-in deal for you or something. And maybe you'll be able to buy it without spending a whole crap ton of money. So here's where we started. It was the same company telling you 2 opposite things in the same year. 7 years in the spring, 12 months in the fall. And now you know which one is true and which one is just there to get your money. Your phone isn't old. Your phone is not obsolete. It was built to run for the better part of a decade, and people who made it said it out loud. The only thing that's actually expired is their patience waiting for your money. So listen, let's keep the phones for 5, 6 years until you really genuinely need to hit one of the things we talked about before, especially with the software update thing. Make sure that if that happens, you definitely upgrade. And the next time You have that little voice that says, maybe it's time. Ask yourself this question. Did it actually break? Did your phone actually break? Or did something that you saw online or something make you look at your phone a little differently and then make you think you need something better? If so, then you know what the answer is. Hang on to that thing, clean it up. It's a little messy. Stop gooning on your phone, and I'll see y'all in the next one.